Hello, everyone. Happy Black Music Month and Happy Pride Month. So, I have a little bit of rainbow on. I got this bracelet from Mexico, and I got this one as well. I just really wanted something colorful. And yeah, I cannot get this one on. I feel like the holes for the little diamond over here are not, the hole is not big enough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this out. But it's very dainty, so I'm not trying to do too much to it. So I just wanted to show that off. And I wanted to show off a little doll. I have not named her. To look up Mexican names so I can name her. Little bows. And I got a little worry doll at the airport, like one of those makeup people. And you're supposed to put this under your pillow, and yeah, it takes away your panic are when you wake up without a care. I gotta take her out of the plastic; she's suffocating in here. But I love these little dolls; they're so cute. I had to get one that her eyebrows are a little wonky, her left side, but her eyes were like the best because most distinct anyway. So yeah, take her out and put her under my pillow. That's a little show and tell of some of the stuff I got from Mexico. I also got some candies and um, some chips. The Doritos over there are like more spicy, so those were the good. Those chips were like okay. Um, Maybe because I'm used to American over processed food, so it wasn't hitting as much, but it was still good. The Doritos and the candy. Uh, I have some chili candies. They're sweet and they have chili in the middle. It's a little weird, but yeah, it's all right. So hello. I've been gone for a week. I also got sunburnt, so if I look a little tanner, that's why. And as always, link in the description. Check out my book, What If I Ruled the World? Poem inspired by music. I have an idea for my next book. I might have talked about it a little bit, but I have not written anything yet, and I have not like written out the plots. That's what something I need to do soon because this is definitely gonna take. Even though this took me like a year, well, mainly for procrastination reasons, but I do a short story collection, so definitely gonna take a while. I'm gonna try. My goal is the beginning of next year. That's my goal. I have not written it down or anything, but that's just in my head. Since I want to tell four separate stories, I feel like fiction also takes a lot more editing because you got to make sure the story makes sense. So that's in the description, though, in the meantime. So today, for Black Music Month, we're going to talk about Shaboozey's most recent album, and um, I'm going to give his biography again. If you did not watch my video where I reviewed his other discography, I'll give you his biography again. So he was born Collins Obina Shaboozey. I think I said that right. On May 9th, 1995. His name is like a play on his last name because people would pronounce it wrong. He's an American musician, singer, songwriter, filmmaker, and record producer. He combines hip hop, country, rock, and Americana in his music. He gained attention with Starter Riot with Duckworth. I don't know. Oh, his name. Yeah. On the soundtrack to Spider Man Into the Spider Verse in 2018. If I'm thinking of the right one, yeah, that was the last one that came out. I think. I feel like it says 2018. I feel like there has to be. I feel like there was one after that just came out like last year. But the one that just came out, it was last year. Really good. It left on a cliffhanger. So anyway, that's a little sidetracked. In 2024, he collaborated with Beyonce on two tracks from her eighth studio album, Cowboy Carter. So he got more recognition from there. He was born in Northern Virginia to parents from Nigeria and raised in Fairfax, which is close to where I was raised, which was Centerville, even though I lived in like 3 or 4 cities in Virginia. But hey, both Virginia natives. I talked about his stage name, and his actual last name means God is King in Igbo, excuse me. In his childhood, he was inspired by watching 106 Park, and then he also was inspired by his time in boarding school in Nigeria and junior high school. He founded in 2014. He founded his own production company, B Picture Productions. He released his first single in 2014 called Jeff Gordon. He was signed to Republic in 2017 after catching attention from single Star, Fox, and Robert Plant. He released his debut studio album, Lady Wrangler, next year in 2018. His second album, Cowboys Live Forever, Outlaws Never Die, was released October 2022 through Empire Records. And then his third album just came out May 31st of this year, like last week, basically. Um, you know, earlier his music had more of a trap influence, but his later songs have more of a folk pop sound with acoustic guitar. He has said his inspirations are Rolling Stones, Grateful Dead, Bob Dylan, and Led Zeppelin, as well as Martin Scorsese in films like uh, for his films such as Taxi Driver. Other influences include Fela Kuti, The Clips. They just say Clips. I thought their name was The Clips. Roy Rogers, The Backstreet Boys, Pharrell, Missy Elliott, uh, Led Belly, and Johnny Cash. So some Virginia natives in there too. So now let's get into his newest album, Where I've Been Isn't Where I'm Going. So like I said, it was released last week basically. And the genre was actually country on Apple Music. So that's the genre. Where can you stream it? Apple Music, Pandora, Deezer, and Spotify. Even though I feel like he's more mainstream than he was, it was still a little scarce for some of this information. So, just that's what. Like, it didn't even have his own Wikipedia page for this. I'm like, shouldn't he have like links to stuff now? A little more mainstream. I don't know how it works. I know Wikipedia people do it themselves, so that might be why. But the vibes I got from the album were heartbreak, wonder. I put wander, but I think I meant wonder, like you're wondering, longing, kind of thing, and confidence. So I'm going to talk about my favorite songs, my least favorite songs, and my overall opinion. And I want to analyze one of the songs. So, Last of My Kind, which I have a typo. I did not put the rest of the title. Featuring Paul Cawthon. I hope I said his last name right. It's very strong and boisterous. I like the booming vocals and the background beat. And I think the feature was great as well. It added more drama to the song in a good way. It's very like, I'm the only one like me. I'm unique. You're gonna find nobody else like me type of song. So that was cool. Highway, very heartfelt and self-reflecting. Um, love the imagery of the song. So basically, he's saying he's going on the highway and he's dealing with somebody he broke her heart or his heart. I don't know, but I feel like he's like probably straight because he has a song called Annabelle. Seems like it's very very straight. Um, and nobody wants to die with regrets and unresolved feelings. So he says like he's going on the road, he might die, and he never resolve these things. That's basically that. Oh, I have a short video on this song, but my description is gonna be the same. But if you don't want to watch a short video, basically, My Fault is the next one featuring Noah Cyrus. Very vivid storytelling and imagery. Love the story of a love falling apart from like both perspectives of someone who messed it up and someone who was trying to save it. That's really cool. Also, I mentioned in my short video, I didn't know nothing about Noah Cyrus's music for real. I might give it a listen. She was pretty good on the song. Um, I never really listened to her that much, but I might now. And Finally Over is the fourth favorite song. It's very interesting that he seems to reflect on his career and not wanting to. This is a quote from. Yeah, this is a quote. I'm pretty sure if it's not a direct quote, like a paraphrase from the song, wanting to sell. So the quote is sell his soul for another viral moment. And it seems like he feels like the pressure to live up to expectations of him and doesn't want to fold to the pressure to sell his soul, like to sell out. And he seems relieved to like finally finish the album and be able to be himself. I'm going to talk about that more in my song analysis. But that's kind of like the impression I get from a lot of artists right now, which I'll go into. And my least favorite songs. So, Horses and Hellcats was the first song of the album, and it's just okay. Like, I don't really hate it, but it has interesting imagery. They're talking about, I think, talking about um, maybe riding a horse like a Hellcat. I think that's like the metaphor he's using. Um, but I don't think it was a strong opener. I wanted a more upbeat opening song, which in my overall opinion, I'm going to get into a critique about that. And I made a short video about this song as well, Still Her From Me. And I said that I hate the phrase, these girls belong to the streets, because somebody, regardless if they're on the street or not, somebody else is on the street getting with them too. So you saying it's good for the streets. Somebody got to be on the streets getting with them. So I hate that phrase. Um, also I mentioned he knows that she might leave him. He seems to accept it. Seems to accept it. But then at the end of the song, he's like, "Don't steal her from me." LOL. So you talking about this whole cycle of I stole her from you, so somebody else is gonna steal her from me, and at the end you talking about don't steal my girl. Like I thought the girls were for the streets. I thought you didn't care. You do care though. So those are my two least favorite songs, and I obviously had more favorite songs than I had least favorite songs. And I did like other songs on there. I gotta think about it. But yeah, I feel like I liked more than I didn't like, so that's good. Here's my overall opinion. I overall enjoyed this album. My main con is the same one as the last album. I want more upbeat songs. Maybe he loves like having the love ballad, the slower country songs. So if you love it, I highly recommend Shaboozey's music. I highly recommend it in general. I think he has good music. Oh, also I like a bar song, which I've reviewed before in another short video. But I will say, I enjoy this. I do enjoy his music. I want to square dance and not cry as much. LOL. But I do think this is his best album, though. He's definitely improved over time. It's definitely more country from his first album, Lady Wrangler. Getting more niche, getting more into, you know, his genre. And but I want him to get some more dancing songs on there. That's the only critique I have. I'm gonna give this album an 8 out of 10. He's definitely getting close to perfect for me. Um, I want to be, I want like a river dance. I know he's not gonna be talking about uh, dance on it, bounce on that shit, dance on his music. But yeah, I want some more upbeat bar songs, you know. But maybe he just likes the slow, sad, heartbreak country songs. Maybe that's his jam. That's what he likes to create. But I mean, you pick it up a little bit more. So that's my review of the album. I enjoyed it, despite some of my critiques, which is really just like one critique. Now I'm gonna analyze the song "Finally Over" a little bit more. So I want to deep dive further into this song from my initial review of it, and it really encapsulates what it means to be famous, like right now. Like you have to keep having viral moments, or else you'll be forgotten. Especially with like TikTok, and then Reels on Instagram, then YouTube Shorts copied. You know, everybody copy each other. So you have what, a minute, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. Now you have 30 minutes maybe on TikTok, which is crazy. You might as well just make a YouTube video. But you have like a very short amount of time to like stand out amongst other artists to get people to like attention and get them to listen to your other music. Which it's not really new to have to like keep putting out music to stay relevant throughout the history of music. However, with so much short form content, it's even more important, which I kind of just said. I should just read what I wrote. Even though I still watch long form content, um, short form content is definitely king. So you definitely have to perfect the short content to get people's like attention on you, like a very short amount of time, so they can, so they'll come back and want to know more about you. Basically, you have to make sure you capitalize on your virtual, your viral moments to keep the masses interested in your music. And there's pressure to keep up the good momentum. I feel like I'm saying the same things, but basically, it's pressure to keep the good momentum to stay relevant. And he talks about feeling relieved not having to sell his soul to keep up. I think record labels also consistently sabotage their artists too, because they do let viral moments go without like capitalizing on them. And I often think, what are record labels doing? I think that so often because I'm like, okay, y'all had this moment. Why didn't you clear the sample for this? Or why didn't you do this when this was popping? Or why didn't you put out an album on this time? I don't know nothing about the music industry, but I have a lot of critiques. So, another video about that. When they let the moment slip away and not take advantage of like the hype surrounding song, it's just so frustrating. It's like, capitalize on it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make sure your artist is successful so you can get the money back that you gave them in the contract. It's like, do you not want the money? They're not want the money back? What are they doing? Um, and some of these record labels seem to not want to promote their artists, and it really baffles me. Especially like recently with the City Girls and their last album, and basically Young Miami saying they're broken up essentially, and it's like their album wasn't pushed until like a couple of days before, which I reviewed it. If you would like to know my thoughts, please check out that video on Raw, their last album. It was only promoted like a couple of days before it came out, from what I can remember, and yeah, it just wasn't being pushed. Um, so yeah, so to me, it kind of seems better to just be independent and just push yourself through the algorithm because I don't know what these record labels are doing. So overall, there's a pressure on artists to stay consistent and relevant, which combined with some having shitty labels can be hard for artists to keep themselves afloat. That's what I think about. Let's think about artistry now and like analyzing how we deal with artistry now. Like for example, I like these girls, but I cannot remember their names. I never remember. Oh, Fly and the Bosses. They really did capitalize on their viral moment. They just, they kept getting push, push, push. Um, I think they went on tour recently. Don't quote me on that. Which I like them, so I should have went and saw them. But sometimes y'all don't be keeping up like I should. But they definitely are like really great at, capitalizing on their moment. And a lot of labels and artists need to do this because it just seems like what's going on? Like you're having a viral moment and then nothing's happening. So those are my thoughts, my little rant and slash analysis of the song and the pressures to having to keep up with your virality and you have to keep getting better, which Shaboozey does get better. So that's number one. You gotta number one, you gotta stay relevant, capitalize on virality, stay consistent, keep getting better. Because if you're not getting better, people are gonna be like, we don't care about you. For example, Ice Spice. She capitalized off of her virality and on the hype around her, but it doesn't seem like she's getting better, which for some people is fine. Which some people for some artists, I listen to them to have fun. I'm not trying to overanalyze anything with them, but to be more appealing, sometimes you got to change stuff up. Sometimes you got to be versatile. You got to not always talk about the same stuff all the time. Even though, depending on the artist, you can get away with that because people like you. But outside of the music, she doesn't really seem very likable. That's another thing. If you're not likable outside of music, people are not going to support your music. That's also another thing that you got to remember. Me sounding like a record label exec, even though I have absolutely zero experience. But yeah, what do y'all think about Shaboozey's album? If you've listened to it, what do you think about the other artists I've talked about? Let me know in the comments if you want. I always say this every video, and nobody puts anything, but maybe somebody will today. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and please like the video, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm at 103 subscribers. Thank you all so much. You made it this far into the video. I will see you all next week.